Shalom. It's good. It's definitely it's good to see you. It's good to see you. Hey, shalom, shalom, prophetess, prophet, shalom. It's good to see y'all. I hope everybody's enjoying their day today. We were blessed. I guess most of us, we didn't get that snow that they said was coming on in. It ended up turning into rain, but I know there's balance in it all. And for those who were celebrating Hanukkah and who have enjoyed that time, we want to just thank the Most High for it. Hey, shalom, sis. It's good to see you. How about them Eagles, right? I see them Ravens fans on here too. And we're gonna see what happens. Looks like Detroit done eliminated themselves, right? So I don't know. I still say in the beginning of the season, I think the game's gonna go through the Rams. Because respectfully, even I think last year the Rams probably could have got it off, but Philly, it looks like they got their number. Seems like every single time Philly appears to squeak it on out. And it looks like they're finally getting their offense together. I know it's Shabbat. I don't want nobody throwing stones at me, but we're humans as well. And I do like sports, and I do believe there's the Ravens play this evening and another big game, an AFC game. But it's good to see you. Keep on dropping. You know, I'm watching what you're dropping and keep spreading the knowledge and the wisdom out there. All right, Malakuti. Hey, shalom, Prophet Jason. I'm going to wait, give it a couple more minutes. Just to let y'all know, too, I did post on YouTube. Actually, I had a couple people who were asking about that. I know I said they're the same people that can come on Facebook, but my daughter even gave me a confirmation, and it's the second time she said it. She says, "Daddy," she said, "all these people on YouTube, how come you don't post on YouTube?" And I prayed to the Most High about it a long time ago, and it's like here and there you'll hear an answer, you'll hear his voice, and you're just like, those who want to be fed, they know where to meet us. But for those who can't, because there are some people who don't have Facebook, we're going to start pushing this through YouTube. Sis, I hope your book is going well, and your excerpts and your snippets that you've been dropping in hopes to heal people all throughout the land, but starting in your own state, Maryland, your own city, Baltimore, your own county, and hope that it can help change a whole lot of people that's out there. So I pray the Most High continues to allow your wisdom that you would teach to heal people and take them to the next level where they need to be. All right, Prophet Jason, I don't know if Mom's around, if you can tap her on in. Let me send this invite out to Sister Sharon real fast, and we can go ahead and we can let the word of the Most High Yah say so. All right. I'm gonna come on in today. We're going to be looking at Matthew chapter 5. Oh, and Prophet Jason, I'm not sure if in January 10th they're going to have an ECOD service as well in Maryland. Just wanted to let y'all know. I had Apostle Rudolph. So myself, we're going to be going. My family, we go every year. So sis, I hope to see you there and others as well. It's some dynamic Hebraic teachers that are going to be there. So we look forward to that, and I praise the Most High, and I'm thankful of that. We're going to go into Matthew chapter 5, and I'm going to read at verse 3. Prophet Jason, I'll bring you in a bit. Matthew chapter 5, verse 3. Then we'll go into today's lesson. Happy are those who know they are spiritually poor. The kingdom of heaven belongs to them. Happy are those who mourn, for Yahweh will comfort them. Happy are those who are humble, and they will receive what Yah has promised. Happy are those, happy are those whose greatest desire is to do what Yah requires. Yah will satisfy them fully. Happy are those who are merciful to others. Yah will be merciful to them. Happy are the pure in heart. They will see Yah. or Yahweh. Happy are those who work for shalom, for peace. Yah will call him his children. Happy are those who are persecuted because they do what Yah requires. The kingdom of heaven will belong to them. In verse 11, happy are you when people insult you, when people persecute you, and when people tell all kind of evil lies against you, because you are my followers. Be happy and glad, for great is thy reward is kept for you in heaven. This is how the prophets who lived before you were persecuted. This is how they were persecuted. It is so much meat in that. In Matthew chapter 5, when Yeshua was on the mount, it says, happy are you when people insult you. Now, can we be happy when we're insulted? Can we be happy when we're lied upon? Can we be happy when we're persecuted? How about this? Can you be happy when your loved ones are lied on? Because you know what? Sometimes we can just handle some things a little stronger. You know, sometimes it's like, people say, you can go ahead and you can do that to me, but you say this about my mama. What you say about my mama, fool? Right? Come on, let's keep it real. Or your children, or those that are in your assembly, or your leaders. I've seen people throw down, like, you're not gonna talk about my leader. You're not going to talk about the one that the Most High Yah has ordained for me and for my family and for the rest of the world and the kingdom. We've seen it, right? But he's saying, be happy when these things happen. When people insult you, when they persecute you, they tell all kind of evil lies against you. Prophet, prophetess, y'all on here, it's us today. We know it's hard for those who tap in later on. But the Most High is saying, be happy and glad, for a great reward is kept. When we go back and look at true happiness in Matthew chapter 5, Yeshua, Yahushai, right, our Messiah, he says, everything that happens to you, we'll go back to 3. Happy are those who know they are spiritually poor. Boom. Because, hey, I'm about to give you a gift. You're going to have the kingdom of the Shemarium, the Shamayim, the kingdom of the heaven. Verse 4, happy are those who mourn. You know why? Because I'm going to give you a gift of being comforted, right? A lot of times that is the difference between a lot of people who, and depression's a real thing, but who go through depression and stay in depression, or for those who go through depression and they bounce out of it. You ever see somebody go through the rock bottom so far down, and they said you started from the bottom. They crashed to the bottom, but then they're elevated on a mountain. They went so high after they went so low. The Most High says, listen, I'm going to pull you up. I'm going to elevate you. He said, happy are those who are humble. Being humble can be very difficult. Being humble is very difficult when you know you are right or you are correct. Being humble is difficult when you know one is what? Persecuting you. Being humble is difficult when you know you're being lied on. Being humble is very difficult, right? When you know that people, what? Are trying to what? Stone you, trying to take you out. Being humble is when you have to say, my story is okay without not being heard. Being humble, listen, sometimes your story just doesn't have to be heard. Sometimes you just have to be humble. And my mom used to say, keep your mouth shut. You don't have to always prove something. We're in Matthew chapter 5. It's difficult because a lot of times is, you know what? I'm going to give them my mind. I'm going to let them get the wrath. I'm going to let them see how it feels. Because so many times we've been told and brought up to get back. I'm going to get you back. But the Most High Yah says here, through Yeshua, happy are those who are humble, because they will receive Yah's promise. Even when people are talking bad against you, talking bad against your family, talking bad everything, he's saying, listen, I'm going to give you a promise. One, my promise, I said, do my prophets no harm. So you already know right then and there what's coming behind it. We ain't got to sit here and and pray for the karma. And we know we don't use the word karma because it comes from another, but I'm going to use karma here. We know God's going to say, I told you not to what? Cause harm to my people. I told you. Sometimes people just know it's something about you that you know what, if I do something, I'm going to suffer a repercussion. So you already know that what's going to happen. The Most High is saying, I'm going to come back. I'm going to humble those people, Shalom, who have done me harm, right? Because think about it. When they do you harm, right? I'm going to put it like this. If I do Prophet Jason harm as one who's aligning and trying to align his life totally to the Most High, I'm doing Yahweh harm as well. It's bringing harm into the kingdom, right? And I know we're going to say, oh, well, nothing comes up through the darkness. It is. It's the atmosphere. It's allowing, listen, and this is where we start to get into our lesson today. So for fast forward, y'all, jump to, if you got your scriptures, jump to Nehemiah chapter 6. So we have to be very, very careful about what we do and what we do to others, right? And it says, happy are those, right, whose greatest desire is to do what Yah requires. It says he will satisfy them fully. So we have to do what's required, even if that means keeping your mouth shut. Let's get into this today. Let's jump into Nehemiah chapter 6. And when we start looking at this book in Nehemiah, right, we see that Nehemiah was told from the Most High. For those who may not know the Torah, what happened was the Jerusalem, the wall was broke down, the temple collapsed. It was war, it was famine, it was all kind of things that were going on throughout history, right? So Nehemiah was told, he said, hey, listen, I was told I'm going to come into Jerusalem, right? You know, we saw that, you know, the Persian Empire and the different empires were starting to take over. So I'm just fast forward. I need y'all to go back and read it. So we get into Nehemiah 6, where there were plots against Nehemiah, right? So when we look at Nehemiah's life and we compare Nehemiah's life to our own, did y'all ever have plots against you? You're going to have plots against you, even in the spirit realm, plots that you don't even see. Sometimes the Most High keeps us protected under his wing from things that were coming our direction that we never even knew about. You know, oh, I know some of y'all may hit this up. There was an old rap song back in the day. Now it was called "Today Was a Good Day," right? Today you thought you had a great day, but think about how bad your day could have been if the Most High didn't say, "I'm putting my wings and arms around you." See, that's the things we don't know. We come home, we walk in, we got a big smile on our face, we're happy. Everything in life just went great that day. But in a millisecond, it could have switched like that. In a millisecond, those who were plotting harm against you. In a millisecond, somebody that had it out with you since you were in 8th grade ran into you, saw you at a stoplight while you were in your car. You just don't know. So we need to be, you know, we have to be mindful. Yes, plots, Mom, yes. We got to be mindful and be happy that today is a great day. Every day is new, and not take it for granted, because it could switch like what they say, a New York second. It could switch just like that. I'm from Jersey, and a Jersey second, right? A South Jersey, Philly second. That's my stomping grounds. It could switch so quick. So when we look at Nehemiah said, I'm coming in. I want to do everything that's right. What he's saying is, I want to bring order back into disorder, because it was disorder. They felt during the time, because of that the temple wasn't there, and I get it, they were going through captivities, but there was still disorder, right? So oftentimes you all could have been there. You feel like it's disorder in your life. You feel like it's disorder in other people's lives. You feel like it's disorders in assembly. And as a prophet, you come up and say, hey, I'm going to speak order into the atmosphere, and I'm going to do what needs to be done to bring order back into the house, right? So Nehemiah, right? And I'm gonna start in Nehemiah chapter 6. Prophet Jason, yeah, he's on. Prophet Jason, I'm gonna tap you in because I'm gonna have Prophet Jason read for me. Matter of fact, let's just do that real quick now, in case we have a technical difficulties, but I believe we won't. All right, Prophet Jason, I invited you, so you probably should be able to come back on in. We're in Nehemiah chapter 6 for those on here. So here we go. All right, let me pull you on in. Thank you, my brother, for reading today. Accept, add. Just don't forget, Prophet Jason, we gotta hit the mute button, okay? All right, and I gotta remember that I gotta hit the mute. I gotta hit the mute button as well. Okay, so I'm going to go into Nehemiah chapter 6, and I'm going to start out. I just want you to come in with Proverbs 17 and Jeremiah 7 and 2 and 4 soon. All right? Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me. So Nehemiah 6. When we look at it, it says, here we go. Sanballat, Tobiah, and Jeshurun. Thank you. And the rest of our enemies heard that we finished building what? A wall, right? We build the wall. So what happens? The rest of the enemies, right? So the word here says this word came to them, right? Oh, thank you, Mary. It says, okay, word came to them. Now, how many times growing up we would hear word on the street is, or you know, so-and-so was doing this, so-and-so was doing that, right? So we see the word means what? A thing. Something came, a manner, an action. So we basically say a message. We would say, I caught it on the down low, or yo, I got the new drop, or what it is. I got the gossip, right? Because sometimes words are gossip, which the Most High tells us to stay away from. But word is something that's spoken that hasn't been fully, most of the time, investigated. So the word came in, and when you look at that word in Hebrew, the dabar for the word also, it means it was a discrete speech. And I get, and I'm just telling you, when we look back at the Hebrew and we look at the word, even though in the text that word, it may, see, I'm reading out a different version. But even when we look into this, I'm just trying to get y'all to understand what the word means. Mere talk, right? Gossip, lying, you know, speech, a report. A report came in. So word was that you were finally getting your life right. Word is you're finally getting your finances right. Word is you're getting your marriage together. Word is you stop using drugs. Word is you stop using alcohol. Word is you working on your anger. Y'all got it, right? So when you start to move and elevate yourself, right? What happens with family? The word is that this person, now he doesn't believe in Christianity, or he doesn't believe in another Elohim, or he left Islam or some other religion. So word is that this person is finding a new path. So what's the first thing that happens? The ears turn. Now people are they're watching you. They're looking, right? The mere talk is coming on in. It's always, and what happens when the word comes in? What are people doing? Now they start sending people out. What are they really doing? Are they really changing? Now you may have people who use from the streets. I'm coming from the streets, and the streets are trying to pull me back, because word is, oh, you trying to live right now. Word is you trying to work a 9 to 5. Word is you're not trying to flip the bricks and sell dope no more. Let's keep it real. That's what happens. So people, they start coming in, and they're putting feelers out. Some people are happy for you. Some people are happy. Word is you're starting your own business. But some people aren't. Some people are jealous. Some people are hateful, right? Some people were frenemies the whole time, right? So when we see that, most of the time when we try to elevate and change or do something that's right and constructive, there's always going to be the naysayers, always going to be the haters, always going to be the one that's coming in, right? And they were what? Possibly and mostly sent by Hasatan to what? Destroy the plan, destroy your work, destroy, you're an artifact, right? So think about it. Evil usually always comes around, right? When you do good. especially if it was something that you liked to do in the past. And now your mind's saying, hey, wait, that's evil. It's evil for me to just snap out and start screaming and yelling at somebody because I used to feel good when I used to do that. But we know that's evil. So what happened? Evil comes. What happens? That person or that thing is going to come and it's going to come. It's going to test you, right? So verse 1, it says that the enemies heard they had finished building the wall. They finished building the wall. Let's go check on it. You finished building your business. Let me go send somebody over to check on it because I wasn't invited. Come on, y'all. Y'all know how people are. People, first of all, you get some people that are genuine and happy for you. You get some people that just hate you. And you got some people that just riding with you because they trying to see what you have so they can what? I call them being a leech. So they're a bloodsucker, just trying to take from you and then go for the ride with you so they can elevate with you, right? So what do? People say, all right, let me go check this out. He said, their enemies heard that they're building a wall. Your enemy heard that you're building your wall up from where you came from. The enemy heard that your temple was all crushed down, all in the inside. Come on, mom. You was broke, busted, and disgusted. You were destroyed. You went through all kind of hell. You had turbulence that came inside you. It tore you up. And the enemy is slowly. What does he do? He slowly plots against you. He sees brick by brick what you're building. The enemy sometimes, in the spirit realm with Hasatan, he sees what you're doing. Wait, this person's praying every night? Wait, this person is finally starting to read their Bible? Even if you just started out and said, I'm going to read one book a day. I hope y'all getting this. I hope y'all see this real quick. So once they heard, they said, we're going to send a scouting report out. It's just like sports, right? We heard that they got a good team. So what do? They send, shalom, Sister Sharon, we're in Nehemiah chapter 6. What do? They say, I'm going to what? Send a scouting report out to go check so I can see, is this really true? Satan sends what? Scouts out to see, are you really repairing your life? Are you really changing? Just think about it. Let's look at an unbeliever. Somebody that you know lived like a straight heathen. Never had really no real issues, but the issues they had, they kind of brought upon themselves. But all of a sudden, I use it like this, for example. Y'all know what I do, excuse me. You have guys that have been released out on parole. They all of a sudden, they start turning their life around and they got problems, right? From things that just came out the woodworks. That's how it works. All of a sudden, you're having these issues. That's Hasatan. I'm gonna put the pressure on you. I'm gonna see how much pressure you can take before you break, because I want to what? Get you back to where you came from. Y'all get it? Y'all see this? So he's saying, I want to see about this wall. Let me see your temple that you claim that you building up. Let me see that you drop that bottle. Let me see that you stop smoking up. Let me see that you stop, having these anger and resentment issues. Let me see it, because I'm going to test you on it. And that's how he does. So Nehemiah 6, it shows us, right? Prophet Jason, I'm going to bring you on in. We have to see that Nehemiah 6 is showing that the plots were coming back against Nehemiah, because what? Nehemiah was trying to do what was right and show what righteous was. How many times it's like this? I want to show my wife I can do better. And the first thing that happens is the first couple of days I'm trying to show her I'm doing better. What happens? We arguing over the thing that I'm trying to do better. Well, where's that coming from? I'm using it for an example. It's the enemy. So let me knock him back so I can knock him off course. Let me knock that person back so they can go. So I don't want them to get where I want them, where the Most High wants to take them. Prophet Jason, I'm going to bring you on it. If you can get in Proverbs 17:4.
Oh, right now, okay. Proverbs 17:4. I'll pull it up in the GNT. There. Evil people listen to evil ideas, and liars listen to lies. And I can read Proverbs 17:4 from the original Hebrew transliteration.
No, that was good.
Okay.
So what did he say? What do people do? They sending out a report to see what's really going on in your life. They're sending out a report to see, hey, is this person really, really changing? So what do evil people do? Evil people, I was talking to my family the other day about that, about people who have the same mindset. I was just telling them, Daddy's a car guy, so what do I do? Sometimes I gravitate to car guys. You're a sports person, you gravitate, you do hair, you gravitate, you sew, you gravitate, you're in healthcare, you gravitate, and it's just something about it. And sometimes we're people who are evil, right? An evil person listens to what? Evil ideas. They come together in different ways to what? Come against what you were trying to accomplish. And when we deal with spirits, sometimes think about this. I'm working on my anger, right? This is why we know this is a spiritual thing. I'm doing well. All of a sudden I get a phone call from somebody I haven't talked to in 15 years and they test me. All of a sudden you leave, you go to the supermarket, somebody cusses you behind out. That's spirit. That's spirit. That's Satan saying, I'm going to test you. I'm going to put these things out to see where you really are. And then what happens? Now people start coming together. You see it even with family, because sometimes they're the first ones that try to hold you back. So now they start speaking what? I told you earlier. Happy are those, or not to tell you, Yeshua told you in Matthew, happy are those, right? Who can basically, we can keep our mouth shut when those are lying upon us. They want what? All kind of commotion. I was looking and y'all saw all this unfortunate stuff that happened during, and from a biblical standpoint, we use the word a heathen because we're not supposed to celebrate the day of the heathen, but during the Xmas season, you're seeing all these tragic events with family killing each other, stabbing each other, mad at sports games, wiping out a whole family, right? Brothers and sisters fist fighting. I saw one, people, they're hitting his head with mac and cheese and pots. Over what? A he say, she say. Over a lie, right? So instead of, first of all, the elders need to be stepping into place, but instead of someone having a level head, y'all see this. This is why the Most High says, I got to pull you away from some of this wickedness and some of the stuff that's going on out here in the world. Because what? People, a lot of people, they get off just by what? Watching you fall. And sometimes that comes from what? Just speaking evil against you. Prophet Jason, go to Jeremiah 7:24.
Jeremiah 7:24 from the GNT. But they did not obey or pay any attention. Instead, they did whatever their stubborn and evil hearts told them to do, and they became worse instead of better.
What did the stubborn hearts tell them to do? Cause problems in your life. I know he's trying to do better. Should I really say this? Words have power. You'll have somebody that makes you so upset, or you made them so upset, they just sit at home and sat at home for 2-3 hours while you left out to go to the store just to think of things just to pull you down. Knowing that they see a change in you. Knowing that you have elevated yourself or you even removed yourself from the situation, right? So you're not dragged down into their what? Into their mess. Evilness, wickedness, right? Enemies, people love to see you do bad. And if they love to see you do bad, are they a friend or are they a foe? We got to keep it real here in this season in 2026 or year 5,700. Are you an enemy or are you a foe? Let's keep reading. I'm going to keep reading Nehemiah 6. It says, right? Sanballat, Tobiah, Geshem, and the rest of our enemies heard that we have finished building the wall. So what do? They want to scale it out. Let's see how well this wall's built. Let's see if they really have the wall built. Let's go in here and show our presence, right? So it says, right, building the wall that was up and there were no gaps in it. Let's see if there's some gaps. Let's see if I can really get under your skin. Let's see if I can really test you and rock you backwards. And really, my whole goal is to knock you outside of Torah, because that's the thing. Sometimes people, they like the life that they had with you. That's where it comes down to when you have to, I know we all been through this, but when you go through the process, of changing people, places, and things, and friends, and sometimes family's hard because you're just stuck with them. In a sense, because we really could remove ourselves from them. But sometimes, you know, they're going to say, all right, let's work together to see, is there a crack? Hey, y'all, check this out. Check this out, y'all. I can make her crack real quick. Don't think they don't do it. Don't think that people are downstairs shucking and ducking during the seasons or during the weekend and watching the games. And you know what? Watch this. So we were watching 300 last night, right? And me and Mary, and y'all saw the part of 300. There was a part in there where, you know, he was testing the actor. I mean, not 300. Excuse me. We were watching Gladiator. Yeah, I started watching. We were watching Gladiator 2 with Denzel, and what they wanted him to do was buck. They wanted him, and he said, "You're not going to get me. I'm not going to move the way that you want me to move. You're not going to take me out of, you know, out of my square. That's what people want you to do. Hey, yo, watch this. Oh, she said she done smoking weed. They gonna come right around you, roll up, say, I got that sticky, that good purple, that chocolate, whatever, you know, that's out there, bringing the best of the weed and start smelling it. Watch this. I bet you I can get them. It's real, y'all. It happens. It's real within family. It happens. Family come together. They will plot against you. Your enemies will plot against you. This is what comes in. It says, so, oh yeah, so there were no gaps in it. Although we still had not set up the gates. This is what I'm getting at. In the gateways, right? So when we look at this, Prophet Jason, get Psalms 23 and 5 coming up next, right? Or Psalms 83. Get Psalms 83 first. There are people in the world, and we understand this is a body, but inside of each body there's a spirit. Either being led by a spirit of light or a spirit of darkness. Their job is to come together against the people of Israel, people who are teaching the word of the Most High, including you, including me, including those who still believe they're teaching the word of the Most High. And their job is to what? Cause chaos and confusion in your life. They were sent. Prophet Jason, Psalms 83.
Okay, Psalms 83 from the GNT. Well, actually, let me just take it to a different version. Psalms chapter 83. The transliterated Hebrew. A song, a psalm of Asaph. Elohim, Yahweh, do not keep silent. Do not hold your peace, and do not be still, Elohim. For behold, verse 2, for behold, your enemies make a tumult, and those who hate you have lifted up their head. Against your people they have taken crafty counsel, and consulted together against your sheltered ones. Verse 4, they have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, and may they not be remembered the name of Yashrael anymore. For they have consulted together with one consent against you. A confederacy they form, the tents of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, Moab, and the Hagrites, Gebal and Ammon, and Amalek, and Peleshteth, or Philistia, with the inhabitants of Tyre, Sor. Verse 8, also Assyria has joined with them. They have helped the sons of Lot, Selah. That's the end of chapter 83.
Thank you, Toda. So we see now this verse is huge. So it's coming in. Prophet just hit the mute button so I can make sure they hear me. This verse is huge. Okay.
I didn't actually finish. There's still more verses. I just saw Selah. That was the end.
Yeah. No, that was good. That was good right there. Right. The next one, jump on and get Psalms 23 and 5. So when we look at Psalms 83, right, let's apply this to today's life and back to Nehemiah. It says, he asked the Most High, don't be quiet. He said, look, your enemies are in revolt, and there are those who hate you are rebelling. They are making what? Secret plans against you. There are people that's out here making secret plans. We're back to Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 1. They made a plan. All of the enemies came together. That's what people will do to you. They will turn around. They will come in conjunction plan. And you have enemies that don't even like each other, but they will come together. What? To make you fall. Now, Psalms 83, it gets even more deeper, because we understand these are the ruling class people of the time. And what their goal was to do was to come against Israel, or come against the true teachings of the Most High, to wipe them out. So you ever see two people that you are at your job and those two don't get along, and you're like, what are them two over there talking about? Oh, come on, y'all know it. You see two people on the street, they might have been beefing for years, and then you see them together in a picture, and you're like, oh, what's going on here? People will come together to see you fall. You get two family members that don't like each other, but they down in that basement in the back corner, whispering, hispering, and talking and hissing when they talking. What y'all whispering, hissing about? They will come together, right? So it says, it come together, verse 4. Let us destroy their nation. Let them destroy your temple. We're going to come together because I want to destroy, right, the wall that we, let's go back to Nehemiah 6. It says, so we heard they had finished building the wall and there were no gaps. Let's go see if there's some gaps. Let's go see, let's come together and hit this person all at different times, at different angles. And now we understand the spirits do that. The demons do that. They hit you in areas sometimes that, okay, I conquered this area. All right, we're going to see. Boom, I'm going to hit you with a bigger one. Boom, I'm going to hit you in different, even the attacks that we have gotten, that we get as people, they have been plotted out for the longest time because they saw us building what? Our wall back up. We got to be mindful of this. We got to remember that, we have to get to a point that our wall is like Teflon. We know what's going to happen. If I know I'm building you're building a safe shelter, right? You're preparing in that safe shelter every single thing you're going to need, right? So if your enemy was plotting against you, you don't think he's taking notes of everything you did? Think about with Noah in the ark. You think if Hasatan or the demons could understood what was needed? I know it doesn't say it, but the Most High told Noah directly how he had to build the ark. This is the actual dimensions. This is the kind of wood I want you to make. So if he says, hey, you know what? You didn't have this type of wood, or Satan, or they found out that he needed this specific wood that was going to keep the boat afloat, right? Yep, you're right, Mom. Glass coalition against us. If he could have said, wait, we're going to go and find a way to create a whole fire that all of this wood is gone, and he won't be able to build that ark. Sometimes some things that you're doing in your life, it just has to say secret, right? And I know Nehemiah, they couldn't keep the wall secret, but they kept it secret for a certain amount of time, and then they found out. Right? Because people will plot against you. Prophet Jason, go to Psalms 23 and 5. Thank you, sis.
Psalm 23, verse 5. Good News Translation. You prepare a banquet for me, where all my enemies can see me. You welcome me as an honored guest and fill my cup to the brim. All
right. You want to come sit at my table? I got something for you. Sometimes we got to see Psalms 23 and 5. You prepare a banquet for me, for my enemies to see me. You want to watch me? Get your binoculars. You want to watch me? Get your magnifying glass. I'm going to give you a show, because what you're going to watch is I'm not going to give you what you think you were going to see. The wall's not going to crack. You're not going to get me to tap out this easy. You're not going to get me to go and snap back out. Because you know what? Now they're going back home. They're going to sleep at night like this. I told y'all I got that. I got him. He ain't nothing but a heathen either. Now, I'm going to prepare something for you. You come sit at my table. See, sometimes this is the issue, man. We got to get them to come what? Sit at our table. You want to come sit at my table? Here we go. And I'm about to feed you a word of a dose. Not even a dose. What's bigger than a dose? I'm gonna feed you a measuring cup worth of from the Most High that you won't even be able to what? Handle. I'm going to feed your gut so much that you ain't going to have no choice but to what? That means sometimes keep them quiet. Oh, for real? Okay. Oh, so-and-so said that? So-and-so said they're going to do this. And we got to be careful with that too. Because I realize that sometimes when people say they're going to do something, they actually do it. It took me a while. I had a little disagreement with a friend of mine. And, it's the little subtle things that was said. And it's like, wait, you actually did say you were going to do it and you did it. Everything you said you were going to do, you did it. We talked about this last week with the Maccabees. Was it because I didn't hear, or was it because I gave him the benefit of the doubt? But he did everything that they said they were going to do. Sometimes we got to be prepared. Oh, you already telling me what you're going to do. So I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna make sure I'm ready, and I'm gonna make sure my defense is tight. I'm gonna make sure I recognize and see what you said you're gonna do. Yo, when I see him, man, I'm telling you it's gonna be okay. Just like in the street, a lot of us, we come down as we get older, even in wisdom, right? We don't see the little. There's no such thing as an idle threat. Let's just put that out there. Some of y'all may hate me for that. They say they're gonna do something against you, and they don't come back and repent. Hey, honey, I was mad when I said that, and I asked for you to apologize, and they never come back. And even the true believer of the Most High does it, and they never come back and repent. You already know they're already plotting, and they're already telling you what they're going to do, right? But you know what? Come sit at my table. Go to Psalm 56, 5-6, Prophet Jason. Psalm 56, 5-6. If you're talking, we can't hear you. Psalms 56, 5-6.
There we go. Unmuted. Psalms 56, 5 and 6 from the GNT. My enemies make trouble for me all day long. They are always thinking.
My enemies make trouble all day long. So what happened in Nehemiah? His enemies were what? Coming together to make trouble, to create the friction, to cause the problems. Because why? They were led by Satan. They were led by demon spirits. They were led because he says, I don't want Nehemiah to what? Get his job done. Because at the end of the day, you know what they do? They report back to the Most High. And they say, I told you we were going to knock him off. I told you that person didn't change. I told you how easy they was. I told you I just gave him a book bag with 20 grand on it, told him drive this 10 blocks out the street. Now how quick I pulled him back in the game. Go ahead, Prophet.
Now, when I look at the Hebrew transliteration, the words come up different. I'll start from the beginning of 5. All day, my words, they twist against me. All their thoughts are for evil. Verse 6. They gather together. They hide. They mark my steps when they lie in wait for my life. That's the end of verse 6.
Hold on. So you said the word in that version said my words?
My words, they twist.
So my words make trouble for me all day?
If all day my words, they twist against me, all their thoughts are for evil.
So this is deep, because this goes back into, hit the mute button real quick, because I don't think, I can hear you perfect, but I don't know if everybody else can. This goes back to kingdom study. So you're talking about the words, but let's not go there. So let's keep it at 56. It says, my enemies make trouble for me all day long. They're always thinking some way to hurt me. They gather up in hiding places, right? They gather up and they watch everything they do. Y'all remember that scene in the movie Belly when I can't think of his name, Kane from Menace Society, right? He's eating a banana. He's like, I don't like that. He's standing far off and he's watching to see what that time rapper, the DMX, what they were doing. He's like, I don't like that. So they were sitting back watching, plotting That's what people do. I don't like that person's being elevated. I don't like that person's getting too close to the apostle. I don't like this person is having these gifts all of a sudden. That where did these come from? Don't act like it don't happen in your own assemblies and choir halls. It will. You see it in these churches. You see it all over the planet. So what are they doing? They're trying to come against you, and they're watching you. They're trying to see, I heard something was being built. Let me go with my own eyes to see. I heard that, this person, a prophetess here, I got to use you. This person has these, I don't know, I'm kind of putting this in there. Oh, okay, it was Psalms 83. And that would be 83 when you get into 4. Psalms 23 and 5. And then last one is Psalms 56, 5 through 6. So 56, 5 through 6 says, my enemies make trouble for me all day. They're always thinking some way to hurt me. And he put an exclamation point. They gather in hiding places and watch everything I do, right? Hoping to kill me. Punish them, Yahweh. Punish them, Yah, for their evil. Defeat those people in your anger, right? So when you deal with people, and I'm going to use, for example, with not putting your business out there, but like when you deal with properties, right? Oh, I heard she bought 3 and 4, 5 houses, from East Baltimore out to West. And what do they do? People are not, you just do it this way. You're renovating your home. You're renovating your house, and you're doing work in there. You ever have somebody be like, oh, yeah, I heard you get a lot of work done in your house, but you never invited me in to see it. How's everything going? Do you really want to know, or are you just trying to be newsy if they watching you, right? They come to see what you have, because a lot of times people are really sizing you up, right? You ever have somebody that people in your life, like you do something that's so good, you redo your whole bedroom and they find the negative little things in there? Hey, wait, you rebuilt your wall. Hey, I see a crack here, a crack there, a crack there. You're not telling me you see a crack because you're worried about my foundation. You're not telling me spiritually you see cracks. You're telling me you see cracks because you really want me to see you fall. And it's all about how they express themselves and how they speak and how they talk and their tone, and your spirit should be able to see that right away, right? So it's like people come around. I call them lurkers. They come around lurking around just to see really what you doing. They're coming around to see, hey, let's go by and see so-and-so and see, how she's really doing. Especially when you're going through a time period of stress. Come on, y'all. It's like they know. Spirits, they run wild. I keep teaching about this. The spirits, I hear you're doing well, right? I hear your wall was built. Prophet Jason, get to 1 Kings 22:23. Right? I hear all these things. Now I'm going to go see them. And let's get back to Nehemiah 6, because I'm kind of getting away from that, and I want to get into that, right? Nehemiah 6, verse 2, right? So Sanballat and Geshem sent me a message suggesting that I meet with them in one of the village in the plain of Orno. This was a trick of theirs to try to harm me. What did he say? He sent a message. I want you to stop everything you're doing. Verse 3. I sent messengers to say to them, I'm doing important work and I can't go down there. Have y'all ever been in the middle of studying, praying, you're in your assembly, and here comes your family member? Here comes the one, sending a message? People like this in life, we got to really be careful, even with your employment. You'll have people that want you to stop everything you're doing so you fit and meet their needs. People see you building your temple, but they want you to stop when you got the mortar in your hand, right? You got the brick in the other, and you're trying to put the brick in together. They want you to stop everything you're doing. Hey, I need you to come do this. They were sent. First of all, they were selfish because they didn't even see or stop and say, hey, are you busy? Hey, do you have a moment? Hey, what's going on? There's people that will make your whole life upside and down until they get what they want, and they won't have no regard for what you're building. No regard of what you're doing. Y'all know it. Y'all been in there at work. You'll have people that'll do, I need to know right now Stop what you're doing. I need to know. It doesn't make a difference. I'm going to get my answer. I'm going to get what I want. No regard. What kind of person is that? What kind of people are they? Right? So he says right here, I sent somebody. You stop what you're doing because I need you to come to me. Wait, who do you think you are? That I need to, especially if I'm doing something righteous, that I need to stop what I'm doing to come tend to your needs. And I'm not talking about us being disrespectful to our husbands, our wives, our mothers, our fathers, you know, even our family members. But it's a time and place. You start looking at this and say, this is a pattern. Your pattern in your behavior is every single time I'm doing this one thing, there's an issue. You ever have, like, every time you try to take a nap, somebody comes around and they wake you up. You like, what, you hating on me because I'm trying to take a nap? I never get a chance to take a nap. Now you start what? Looking at that as disrespectful. I'm using it for example, right? What do you want me to always stop what I'm doing? It says it right here. I sent messages to say to them. He said, you know what? I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to send somebody for you. I'm going to send somebody to you. I'm sending their messengers to say to them, I'm doing important work and I can't go down there. I'm building my temple. I can't stop. I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry that you needed me, but I'm not going to stop everything I'm doing, because we're back to respect. We're back to honor. We're back to loyalty. Some people, they don't have that towards you, right? He says, I'm not going to let the work stop just to go see you. I'm not going to, stop building my temple and say, yo, you know what, Braz, right? You know, as they call me. Hey, I want you to come get some drinks. Well, brother, I'm trying to be sober and not drink for, I'm at day 7. I'm at day 8. Well, yo, come on, man. It's my birthday, or, so-and-so came in town. Come on, let's just, no. They want you to stop your work that you're doing. No, we got to let them know this, it was a spirit that was sent. It was sent to test you, right? Prophet Jason, go to 1 Kings 22:23. We see what kind of spirits that are being sent.
All right. The GNT says, verse 23, and Micaiah concluded, this is what has happened. Elohim Yahweh has made these prophets of yours lie to you, but he himself has decreed that you will meet with disaster.
Was that 1 Kings 22:23? Maybe I got it off.
Second Kings, but that's First Kings.
1 Kings 22. Oh, 1 Kings 22. Is that what I said?
Mm-hmm.
Did I say? Oh, I'm sorry. 1 Kings 22, verse 20 through 22.
Okay. Then going back to verse 20. I'll go from the transliteration. And said Yahweh, who will persuade Ahab and to go up, that he may fall at Ramoth Gilead? Gilead. So spoke this one in this manner, and this one spoke in that manner. And came forward a spirit and stood before Yahweh and said, I will persuade him. And said Yahweh to him, how? So he said, I will go and be a spirit, a lying spirit, in the mouth of all his prophets, and said, you shall persuade him, and also prevail. Go and do so.
So we see right there, Prophet Jason. Now that verse, some versions may say the Lord asked who will deceive Ahab, right? Some of the angels said one thing. Now, others said something else. Now, when we look at that verse, we understand that at that time, angels, the word angel here, right? And matter of fact, Prophet Jason, you probably can look at that up. The Melachim, or does that word angel? I'm just curious. Does it say? And this is what Torah study is about. This is what Shabbat's about. It's learning. Was it an angel from the Most High, or was it an angel of darkness, right? Because remember, as Hasatan goes to and fro, he comes back and he what? Gives his messages or his directions to those that are in charge. But it says until a spirit stepped forward, right? Which is deep. It said a spirit stepped forward. A spirit. Well, what kind of spirit? It had to have been an evil spirit. So could an angel that was created righteously by the Most High have a duality of being light and dark at the same time? Or was it in one of the Hasatan's angels or a spirit that said, hey, listen, okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this person so I can deceive them? And Yah says, the Lord asked, the spirit replied, I will go and make all of Ahab's prophets tell lies. So this is what happens where people, they will come together. We're back to Psalms. We're back to Nehemiah chapter 6, where people will tell lies against you, on you, for what? For their own purpose, for their glory, or for just to ridicule you, to make you look, is your temple really built up? Is your wall really built up? We're back in Nehemiah chapter 6, right? So as you're building yourself back up, right, this is what happens, right? People heard that you were building yourself back up. People heard that you were changing. People heard you were becoming better. People were saying, you know what? They see that the kingdom of glory is starting to build and starting to splue out and come out of you, right? But now they're saying, let's test it. He said, listen, they sent me this. We're back in Nehemiah 6, verse 4. They sent me the same message 4 times. 4 times? 4 different times. They came to him to try to disturb his workmanship, to try to disturb him. Because remember, Nehemiah at this point is trying to work to get what? The gates put up. We're going to get on that, right? Then verse 5, it says, I sent them the same reply. I told you I was busy the first time. I told you, no, I can't do it. I told you, no, you're not going to, back to Prophet Jason said the words, you're not going to get a reaction out of me. How many times I got to tell you? So at this point in time, Nehemiah recognized the spirit battle here. It's not so much as the flesh. When we start seeing things that people continuously do things and we've already gave them the answer the first time, then the second time, you know it's the spirit that's coming in. Because now it's the spirit between the light and darkness. I said, come down here and make my food. I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of prayer. I said, now you're in the 4th, 5th time. That's a spirit. So you know what? We're going to go to the hands of Yahushua, Yeshua, and we're going to say, Most High, we're going to deal with that spirit today. We're going to deal with it, right? So it says, verse 5, then Sanballat sent one of his servants with a 5th message. So he got so frustrated, he said, listen, I'm going to send one of my servants, right? And you know what? One of the versions, it says he sent a Prophet Jason, tell me if you can find that on Nehemiah 6. Make sure I'm right. Verse 5. It said he sent one of his young servants. That was a key there because he's saying, you know what? I'm going to send a muscle in. I'm going to show you, you know, what I got. I'm going to show you to respect me. And that's what people try to do. They try to, even with their tone, with their language, the way they speak to you. I told you 4 times. The 5th time now I'm sending somebody up there. The 5th time now I'm getting up because I'm going to break your shalom. I'm going to break your peace because I realized the first 4 times that they tried to attack you, they couldn't get to you. This is real. I sent you 4 texts in a row trying to make you angry and all you respond back with is okay. I said these things to you every single time I saw you passing by in the kitchen and you just said, mm-hmm. So now what happens? Now their spirit became agitated. Sanballat became so agitated, and it says what? He says, I sent it in a form of what? An unsealed letter. First of all, so here we go. You didn't send it in a sealed letter. So is this true? Is this true? But that's another lesson. We can deal with that, right? So let's see if we can cause what? Destruction. Let's see if there's a breach. Let's see if you got some fear, because if that's the version, Prophet Jason, just tell me you got it in 6, Nehemiah 6, verse 5. I thought it said that he sent one of his young servants. There was a reason why that word was put in there. Maybe it was in the KJV when I was studying this lesson out, right? I'm a mute. Tell me if you picked that up.
I haven't found it yet. I'm switching between different ones to find it.
Okay, keep going, because I just want to make sure we're right. You got to make sure this is right. It says that Geshem tells me a rumor is going around. There's a rumor that's going around that that you're building your temple up. It's a rumor going around that you're not trying to be out here with us no more. There's a rumor going around that you cutting yourself away from that music. You don't want to listen to that music anymore. Come on, it's Christmas time. It's only Christmas music. Listen, I had a dream yesterday that the Most High showed me something because my children were watching the Christmas Carol that was on TV, right? And we know that there's spirits behind that music. So he had to speak to me. That's something that he had to speak to me, that I was in error, because I'm like, they're just watching the Grinch. Okay. Now we know we can take something non-biblical and make a biblical point, but what am I doing to my children? What am I doing to my family members? What am I doing where it's like we're supposed to be set apart? Well, I don't want to go to Nana's house because she don't let us watch Charlie Brown Christmas. But we don't believe in that. When are we going to what? Stand our ground on it, right? You can just go ahead and just test her. I'll go ahead and play a little Jodeci, it'll warm her up a little bit, and now you're having flashbacks. We're going to leave that alone. It says there's a rumor going around amongst the neighboring nations of people that you and the Jewish people intended to revolt. That is why you are rebuilding the wall. So he came in with what? It's a lie, a deception, right? Word is that, you think you studying a little bit, you're going to go ahead and you starting your own assembly. Word is that you going to come in here, you trying to, here we go, I got, Lord forgive me, you going to steal my members. It ain't your members, it's the members of the Most High, and we all should be working in ECOD anyway, right? Because we're all from each 12 different tribes, but I'm going to leave that one alone, because I keep telling y'all, the Most High keeps telling I got to come out on that one, and that one's going to go worldwide, whether they like it or not. It says, you're rebuilding the wall. He also says, you plan to make yourself a king. You plan to make yourself better. Oh, what, you better than me because you don't listen to this music no more? You better than me because you got that little Torah, I hear you talking. You ain't heard me say anything. But what did they do here? You hear, Mom? You get it. Listen, I know you're building yourself out up, but I'm going to send a test. I'm going to see what this is. What is this really what it is? Right? He says, you plan to make yourself king, and you have arranged for some prophets to proclaim Jerusalem that you are the king of Judah. His Majesty is certain to hear about this, so I suggest that you and I talk this situation over. So what did he do? Nehemiah was smooth. He said, I sent a reply to him. Nothing of what you're saying is true. Point blank period, and left it there. Sometimes some of our words and our actions have to be, oh yeah, I heard, I didn't say that. And leave it there. I ain't got to give you a story because we get caught up in stories. I'm so tired of you debating. You debate with people and the next thing you know, you debating about something or disagreeing about something that has nothing to do with the topic. Because you know why? You had them blocked out. They were finished. They were finished from the beginning. All you had to do is keep your mouth shut and not say a thing. Right? But what happened is you started in a war or a battle or an argument and you're winning, but you end up losing, right? Because you felt trapped. You felt trapped to the message. The messenger was to what? Find a crack in your wall. I'm not really arguing about this because yeah, you won. I'm arguing about this way down here. We fell victim. Nehemiah said, no, I already told you. I sent a reply. It's not true. They were all trying to frighten us into stopping the work. Stop building your temple. Stop building your wall. I'm a frighten you. Well, you know what they say, y'all people who yes, no points to prove, stand on the truth. Well, why is it that, the people who try to turn their life to the Most High, they just seem like they have the most problems. Why are you doing this? You're just going to just bring up more issues to yourself. That's that psychological warfare. Trust me, I know we've all been there. I know y'all heard that. Trust me, I've even had to give my own self the benediction because I said it like, oh man, why am I? This is good. But we understand that's Hasatan. Shut up and be gone. We got to see this. Who was this person, right? So they're trying to frighten us. They're trying to frighten you. I don't want you to live righteous. Why? Because I can't use you the way that I want to use you. I still love you, and I want to use you the way I want to use you. No, you can't. The time has changed, right? What they say, when people change, we all evolve, right? And it says, about this time, I went to Shemaiah, the son of Delilah, and the grandson of Methuselah, and was unable to leave his house. Check this out. Watch the trap. He said to me, you and I must go hide together in the holy place of the temple and lock the doors, because they are coming to kill you. This is how Satan sometimes does. I know you're doing work. I know you're working on yourself. Sometimes people will come in like the wolves in sheep's clothing, right? And this goes back into the issue because we allow anybody to come into the gate. Somebody tell me, put the time in the chat, because I know there's going to be a part 2 to this. So when we look at the plots back against Nehemiah, right? Sanballat, right? When we look at him, he didn't like Nehemiah. They didn't like you. Think about it. You could start out loving someone, caring about them, and then get to a point in a relationship where they just don't like you. This is deep. This goes on out here. This happens in our life, right? Nehemiah, he wanted him to what? Thank you. He wanted him to fall. Thank you, Mary. Right? And if you look at his name, because names have meanings, right? Sanballat means what? His name means sin has given life. So in the spirit realm, so see, this is why back then, like people, they knew their names. So Nehemiah was like, this man's name is this, and it means, and there's a meaning behind it. Sin has given life, right? So they see this. They see he knew from the very beginning what this man's he should have known what this whole man's goal was and his objective was to cause havoc, to cause destruction. Come on, sometimes the names meet and match what their job is to do, right? So it also means, I looked that up, it means a bramble bush or an enemy in secret. So this is how sometimes you could really talk and code to people. We can be together and be like, oh man, I probably got his name maybe off. Prophet Jay-Z about to come here. I say Sanballat or Sanballat, because S-A-N-B, which could be a V, could be Sanballat or Sanballat, lot in Hebrew. It means what? An enemy in secret. So we can really just be sitting around talking to each other and just to be talking about, yeah, Sanballat's around. And most people, it's going to go past their head. That means that's a secret enemy. That's Satan. He transforms like an angel, right? He'll have you buffooned, have you just all messed up, not knowing what's going on. Because what? He's trying to frighten you. He's trying to what? Cause cracks in your temple. You really don't want to go here because he can feel and sense the power that you have within you, right? Prophet Jason, go to Nehemiah 4, verse 1 through 3. Nehemiah 4, 1 through 3. When it's 5:45, Mary, post it in there, and we'll end it.
Okay. Nehemiah chapter 4, starting with verse 1 from the Hebrew transliteration. But so it came to pass, when Sanballat heard that we were rebuilding the wall, he was furious and indignant, very, very indignant. And he mocked on the Jews, on the Yehudi. He mocked the Yehudi. And he spoke before his brothers and the army of Samaria and said, what these feeble Yehudi are doing, will they fortify themselves? Will they offer sacrifices? Will they complete it in a day? Will they revive the stones from the heaps of rubbish stones? And they are burned. Verse 3, and Tobiah was the Ammonite beside him, and he said, whatever even they build, if a fox goes up on it, even he will break down the wall, their stone wall.
All right, that's good, Prophet Jason. That's good right there. It says, he even told you right here, he said, we saw what they were doing. What do these miserable Jews think they're doing? They intend to rebuild the city. Why are you rebuilding yourself? I love you. I like you the way you are. Why are you rebuilding yourself? You get it? You get it. So somebody who constantly wants to see you do bad, that's an enemy. Point blank. If you say this is what, if I say, and I go and I get it, I need to drink this because this mineral water is what makes me feel better, but you want me to drink a beer, and you know, clearly know that this is better for me to drink this than drinking a beer. Who are you? And why were you sent? So I'm showing right here that it says what? They began rebuilding the wall, and then Sanballat became furious. You began to change your life, and they what? Became furious. Furious. Why are you upset? Because we are trying to do better. Why are you upset? Because we are trying to bring an econ. Oh gosh, last week I talked about it. Why are you upset? Because we trying to bring things back in order, in righteous order, in divine order, in the order that it was supposed to be. Why you mad, son? Prophet, we can leave that alone. I think hit the mute button. Can y'all hear me? I guess so, because Latrice, so I guess it's working now, right? So what's happening is Nehemiah 6, Prophet, it's saying, he said, look, where was I at? Here, so I want y'all to hear this. He said, let's go and what? Hide and lock ourselves in, right? Let me go and hide and rebuild my temple, right, in private. So no, I already told you, this is what I'm doing. I'm building my temple up. So whether you like it or not, you can come sit at my table and eat and watch as I rebuild it. And if you don't like, there goes the door. Or he would say, there goes the gate. Or there goes what? No gate, right? So verse 10, I want y'all to see this real quick. It says, you and I must go hide together in the holy temple and lock the door because they're coming to kill you, right? And it says, I answered, I am not the kind of person that runs and hide. I am not the type of person that's going to run and hide. You are not the type of person. If you are changing, you're changing for the better. If you are elevating, you're elevating what? To get here and not be here. They want to force you into what? What they want to do. They don't want you to change. They want you to be who you were. Right? It says, do you think I would try to save my life by hiding in the temple? I won't do it. And see, this is where we go back into issues. Nehemiah recognized the enemy. In the Maccabees last week, in our Maccabees, our great ancestors, they didn't recognize the threat. They didn't see that the threat was there, right? They said, I want you to stop everything you're doing, right? Listen, I can't explain this any more than what it is. If you're in the building a process for the kingdom of the Most High, don't let no one stop you. Period. They can watch, they can sit at the table, they can look, but this is what I'm doing. When you need to have your prayer time or your study time and your reading time, this is what it's going to be. Because now I really have the authority to go to the Most High and say, I need you to deal with him, because now he or she is what? Interrupting my connection and my divine connection that I'm trying to have with you. Listen, the gate was very, very important at this time. Your gate is very important. What are you allowing? Listen, we built the temple, but we see that even Nehemiah had his temple built. The gate was open so the enemy can come and go as he pleased. Listen, I want y'all to see this. Back to even an analogy I use about Noah, Prophet Jason, right? They built the ark, and what happened? He built, we can use a door or a gate, which is the same thing symbolically, and the gate closed. Imagine if they didn't have a gate on that ark. Imagine if they were able to just come up and breach the door. Back to the movie 300 and back to the movie Gladiator. That was their job, to go up and what? Breach the gate, to get into the temple, to get into the land, to get into the city. They had to breach the gate. So that's why it's important that our gate has to get built up. And I understand they had issues at the time, right? But, you know, we look at this 4 separate times. He was able to just to walk in. And then he sent somebody on the 5th time. The gate needs to be closed. The gate needs to be locked. Everybody can't continue to keep having that access to you, especially coming into a holy dwelling place. So when we look at this, right, and we look at the gates, and you got to go back to Nehemiah chapter 3. Nehemiah chapter 3, Prophet Jason, man, you coming real quick. When we start looking at the gates that he was talking about, listen, your human body is composed of different parts, different members, right? So just like Nehemiah, right? He had 10, there were 10 gates that Nehemiah talked about. You got 10 fingers on your hands. You got what? 10 parts of your body. You got your head, you got your eyes, you got your head, you got your eyes, you got your ears, you got your nose, you got your mouth, you got your arms, you got your hands, you got your legs, you got your feet, you got your fingers, right? Every single one, right, of our body parts, every single one, I'm sorry about that. My daughter was calling me a messenger. Every single one, right, there's a gate that, I'm sorry, I apologize. Most High, come back with me. Come back to me. See, that little bits of distraction like that. Excuse me, Gabrielle, don't call me on the phone, okay? There's your body there's 10 different gates, right? And you must stand guard. Your gate to your body, everyone doesn't have to have access to. Your gate has the different fruits of the spirits that are within. Yes, family included, the spirit is evil. Just like in Nehemiah chapter 3, I'm sorry, y'all, I lost it. In Nehemiah chapter 3, he talks about what? The different gates. He said what? There was a fish gate. He said that there was what? An old gate, right? What does the old gate represent? Your old ways. It could be the old ways of Torah, right? My gate's going to be open for the old ways of Torah, or my gate's going to be closed to what? The old ways of the world, the old ways that I came out of, right? You had the water gate, right? He talks about it in Nehemiah 3. We don't have time to go back through it. He said, but what is water? This is the water gate. The gate for what? The living truth. The water represents the emet, the truth, right? You had the east gate. So when we understand east and we understand warfare and you understand how they would attack and go to different gates, right? You have the east gate, right? That represents what? The power, the wind, the ruach. Listen, there was more to this story, and we really start to really look at this. They even had what? A dung gate. So that's a gate for what? Waste. This is the gate that opens up to let the waste out, right? We got to let the waste out and stop letting that waste come back in every time that door closes and shuts. Come on, y'all. Y'all gotta see this, right? They had what? The gates for the sheep. That was the gate that what? Protected where the sheep were. They're talking about every single thing inside the temple, and I'm mad I don't have an actual chart to show how the temple was set up, right? So you see it. And they had the fish gate. What is fish? Prophet Jason, I had Prophet Jason, and I talked to him about just to give us a real brief on this, because the gates were important because it what kept the things that were sacred and safe. If the water was polluted, the whole community is polluted. If your water is polluted and bad water gets in, you're not flowing water from the Most High, you're polluted. If your sheep gate, that's your protection, right? If your old gate is always open, what are you doing? You're allowing all them old things to come back inside of you, right? Not the old ways of Torah. Prophet Jason, I don't know if you had a chance to really dig into that, but listen, you know what? I think it's probably 5:45. I didn't make it all the way through this, so we're probably going to come back with the part 2 of this. I'm trying to keep the lessons kind of down, but I just really need to down with time. I need us to really to understand this. And if you can, just for tonight, continue reading 11, 12, 13, 14, and then it ends right there. Because no matter who's trying to come against you, the Most High got you. No matter who's trying to come inside and take over your gate, if they're not righteous, you can't walk through my gate. You're the gatekeeper. That's why they have watchmen. Yes, 541, thank you. Watch who tries to come in and out of your gate. Watch what you bring inside and outside of your gate, right? And ask the Most High to continue to show you, to continue to, oh, Mary's funny, said dinner's not ready yet. That's good because I'm hungry, my stomach is growling, right? To continue to show you how to keep what? Your gate protected. All right, y'all? So listen, Felder, this is this word is it just gets better and better as we go on, and you know we need the most. Thank you, prophetess, and we need the Most High to continue to show us things in the manuscripts, and we pray and we ask Him and say, listen, I need you to show me these things. I'm asking you to show me these things. I'm asking you to show me how to apply it to my life and the people around. It's just not a story about a wall and a gate. It's more to it. But we got to spend time in the manuscripts. So listen, y'all, Shabbat Shalom and Mahava.
Benzion, before you go.
Okay.
Yeah, next week for definitions, but today, that point you pointed out about the messenger being a young person, it's in there. And there's a whole message inside of that itself. And it lines up with chapter 3 when you talked about the gates. So the messenger that his accusers send, Nehemiah's accusers, sent when Sanballat and them the 5th time, they sent a servant. And at first I didn't see it, but in the Hebrew definition for servant, the specific word used there is a young person. And the word is na'ar, a young servant, like a little boy or a little girl, someone in like adolescent. And it's implied perhaps that there's a difference between the kind of correspondence that Nehemiah would give. He was consistent. He would always send the same way. But they would choose to bring up rumors. They would choose to say, we've heard this, instead of just using consistent communication. They perhaps were intentionally trying to create confusion by using different gates every time, talking about there's rumors throughout the city as they communicate with him. It's like, we heard this, instead of talking about the conversation they were having directly from his consistent, direct line of communication he would use every time. So they sent a young servant with their letter, and it was an open letter, and an open letter in his hand. What did that mean? That meant it was not a protected letter. They're spreading rumors as they go. And it's a young person who's rambunctious, who's ready to start a fight if he misunderstands the answer he's given. There's a whole lesson there about him never distracting himself and him always being consistent about being, truthful, direct line of communication in case someone needs to check the record on what he said. That's all.
Go ahead, Prophet. Bring it on out. Listen, y'all got to get off. Listen, I love you. And I think the time is going to clip out anyway on as far as Facebook. But Prophet, whatever else you got, and that's the thing. It's more to that and understanding. I guess how people send, why they send a certain person, and like you said, each time they sent a different person, or sent the message a different way. But that shows us another lesson, because that's how Satan attacks us. He tries to attack us in all different ways, and he'll try to keep doing it over and over and over. And we should be already aware of how he maneuvers and how he moves, how we still keep getting caught up. And I keep saying this, and he attacks us the same exact way. He may put a little bit of twist on it. But I really hope that this word, that the word, it really helps us, and then that we really spend time this week and go back and we study and we look at this. I'm gonna end us right here on Psalm 67. Yahweh, be merciful to us and bless us. Look on us with kindness, so that the whole world may know your will, so that all nations may know your salvation. May the people praise you, Adonai. May all the people praise you. May the nations be glad and sing for joy, because you judge the people with justice and guide every nation on earth. May the peoples praise you, Adonai. May all the people praise you. The land has produced its harvest, Adonai. Adonai has blessed us. Adonai has blessed us. May all people everywhere honor him. Psalm 67, verses 1 through 7. All right, y'all. Shabbat shalom.